about and projecting what your life might be like in the coming years, compose a reflective essay or create a video of self-expression and address it to your 40-year-old self. Right? There you have it. That's the assignment. Don't address it to me. Right? This is addressed to your 40-year-old self. How do you see yourself in 20 or so years? What principles about personal tragedy, injustice, and conflict have you learned?
20 years? What am I going to be doing in 20 years? It doesn't feel like time passed, like a water through a sieve for me. I didn't blink and just become this 20-year-old person. I mean, okay, sometimes it felt like that. Sometimes it was like the water trickled through my fingers as I was laying in the creek of life. Who will you be? Who will I be?
God bless America, land that she loves. Stand beside her and guide her with the light from the mountains, through the prairies, to the ocean. What will fall? God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Performing. Always performing. You found a way to your own voice through memorizing other people's words, reading every book that you could find in hopes that it would prepare you for this journey.
Little did I know it would, but not without me doubting it almost every step of the way. You see, deep down behind my breastbone, there's this monster of destruction. You know, he's a formidable foe, but I didn't know it at the time. To me, he was the only thing that was loving and caring, the only thing I could really trust. He whispered so many hateful things deep down in my bones that soon I started to believe everything he said is true, but there was a part of me that hoped it wasn't.
So you tried listening to the one that sounded better.
The path ahead was clouded, and the rocks in front of my feet seemed unstable, but I stepped anyways. I mean, I doubted it the entire time, but I thought the only way to live life was to not even try to live it, to just get through it. But you know that didn't last very long.
I found ways to make it livable, but I guess I wanted more.
I always wanted more, because I knew I could find the strength to handle it. And that's what had happened.
Do you remember what it felt like to see the offers for school pop up on your laptop, backstage for a show you loved working on, and being surrounded by people you would never talk to again?
I do. I remember the buzz in my skin. And it was like the air was taken out of the room. I mean, I don't think I really understood. I mean, the realization of what it all meant, that after all the no's, all the doors slammed in our face before we could even put our foot in as a wedge, all the things people said to us that maybe should have been said behind our back, they meant nothing.
Better than nothing. It meant that you were right all along.
That part of me that was a slow burning ember waiting for a gust of wind to get us roaring was Oh, it was staring us right back in the face.
It said accepted, scholarship, full ride. I mean, you were never good in school. Tried just hard enough not to get noticed by teachers who swore they wanted the best for you, and you kept your profile low. But on the stage,
That's where I sparkled. And we could keep doing it. Our dreams were not just dreams, they were a reality made all the more perfect by how underprepared I was. I mean, I knew nothing. And still, I got the golden ticket out of Hall County and away from all the people I never wanted to see again. It was fantastic.
so what's the goal?
I'm sorry.
The the point. Why'd you do it? I mean, you gave up your dream school, which gave you the biggest scholarship an acting conservatory could give at the time, gave up on New York dreams, and ended up in Atlanta at a university on a scholarship for Shakespeare, and you don't even know that much Shakespeare. Why'd you do it?
Honestly, the money was the first thing. I didn't want any more strings attached to my family. I wanted to prove that I was capable of it, mostly on my own. But also, I was scared for New York. I was scared of what they would turn me into when I was that young. And the campus is pretty. So.
That wasn't it. There's more.
It sounds kind of dumb now, but I prayed. I prayed to a God that I don't even believe in anymore, and I said that I would go to whoever gives me the most money, and I would trust that that was the right choice, and that they would be there. So I packed up my car, and I moved to Atlanta. It was like I had to prove it to everybody, prove that I could do it, really make it. I did, so.
And now I never want to leave.
Because the thing with any quest, or any journey in general, is the side quests. What do you do beside your main mission? I mean, I went to school to be an actor. Get in, get trained, get out. And now?
Now I'm just hoping that outside of here I can find a job that lets me make all the art that I want. I mean, I know that it's possible, so I guess my quest has changed, or it's just really starting. Now it's about trying everything that I can and learning about as much as I can and using every single resource that I have, because outside of here, I'm not sure that I'm going to get to have that again. Now it's about seeing what I can do when an entire university program trusts me enough to do this for free. I mean, now it's about showing them what I can do. They believe in me. You were never good at making friends.
I tried really hard to be good at it.
You said it's hard to get to know people when you know they probably want something from you, but you don't know what that thing is.
I was good at the occasional text message and sharing a meal, but getting people to stick around long enough to realize they liked having me around, that is the hard part.
But something happened. Another shift.
It was the energy of a man with nothing left to lose, really. Walk up to that person. Start that conversation. Stay late after class. Be too much. Really, because what is too much other than ignoring other people's ideas of enough?
Did you ever think that you would live your life surrounded by artists? I mean, I always dreamt of it. I mean, in my brain, you are in a city, and it's New York, and maybe you're on a well-deserved break, but
You know that if you snapped your fingers, you could just make it happen again in an instant. I kept finding people who loved making the same kind of art that I did, and I could write it off as a fluke, but they would bring their own lives and say that, we can work with this. My life's work is only as impressive when I know that it was made together. So you found a world where you didn't feel like you were the only one speaking your own language anymore. Suddenly there was hundreds and thousands of years of evidence that you were not the only one who felt and loved and thought like this. There was nothing that wrong with me that couldn't be fixed with a little medication and a lot of paint fumes. I learned a lot, and much of it was learned from studying, much to my chagrin, but a lot of it was learned through life. Real life experience. The experience of putting yourself out there, of taking the step, even when the path ahead is still cloudy. The path ahead gets less cloudy, I think, when you have someone at your side holding a lantern and your hand in their own. They'll say together that we can do it together. It gets less cloudy then. Things that are worth having are hard to get. You've probably known this since someone much older and wiser told you that. Or when we saw it online under inspirational quotes. But what challenges did you think would be too much to handle? Before I even started my journey, there were smaller wins I had to have to get me here. Do I stay friends with someone who makes me feel worse? How do I know the best time to confess my feelings? Do I really need to give up dairy forever? But the challenges I thought I wouldn't be able to get through was worse. It was me. Do you remember that beast of destruction I told you about that lives behind my breastbone? Well, it's a passionate beast. And a long time ago, I convinced myself that that's where all my true feelings lied. I convinced myself that the only way to get through this life was to either kill the beast inside me or to find a way to live far enough away from my own body that I could escape its burns. But that wasn't it? I was the thing standing in my own way, blocking my own path. That's true, but I created a prison in my mind and convinced myself that if I could just figure out how other people had done this and copied them, it would save me. It's an uphill battle for you to get out of bed, take care of yourself, for you to be kind to yourself. I know you're so capable of being kind to other people. I am my own worst critic. And I am a horrible person to take care of. I love the things that are bad for me, and I don't really want the things that are good for me. I actively try to make my life harder. Consciously or not, I do it. That is a thing that I love doing. So the challenge was learning how to make it easy? I got told that I was easy to love, easy to understand, easy to be with. I got told that from all the people around me. And once I realized that there was nothing really that wrong with me, it became easier to understand that the beast inside me was just a scared child. You were lashing out and snarling in a corner because you didn't want to get hurt again. You would hurt other people before they could hurt you. So I cradled that beast, and I listened to its problems. And I realized that I actually can see the path ahead of me if I look for longer than a second, and that I don't have to listen to every self-help podcast my mother sends me. Or you could. Or I can keep trying. Or I can stop. Or start. Or quit. Or begin. Or persevere. Because once I realized that no one really has it all figured out, my life became so much easier. I just cradled that beast behind my breastbone and listened to the things that it wanted, and I get to decide if I want those things too. We both get to have this body together, so I'm not going to punish myself for them. So, I have a tendency to change my hair every time that I feel like I need to change something. I mean, I like changing things that I can control. Like getting a new haircut or a new piercing or a tattoo. But the transformation of a life is so much more profound and scary at times. I mean, how do you deal with this fact that this stagnant version of you, even if it's not real, will never exist again? And that you'll keep changing. Well, that's kind of the best part about being alive. We get to choose if we want to let our roots continue to grow where we're planted, or if we need to pick a different pot. What was the scariest or the best transformation that you had? Well, you haven't lived it yet, so I can't really tell you, but one that you remember is feeling like an adult for the first time. I mean, I know that bills and making your own doctor's appointments are not fun, but the first time that you grabbed your keys and left the house without anyone asking where you were going, what you were doing, God, that was a feeling like no other. It was freedom. I remember. It was weird. I was almost sad about it, and not because I was sad about the fact I was doing it, but because I knew that it meant something. It meant that something else was over. It doesn't have to be like that, you know? You can come home. You can keep leaving and keep coming home. It's a cycle. I mean, the doors behind you don't really close. It's just that there are so many more doors in front of you that you want to open. So, what do you think is going to happen? I don't know. I don't think anyone really knows, but I have dreams and a lot of hope. I hope I'm still kind. My mom said when I was a kid, the most profound thing about me was my kindness. My kindness to people, to animals, to the bugs on our porch that stared at me like I was this great titan, and to them I was, I guess, but to you, I bet I just look like a caterpillar waiting to find its perfect branch for its chrysalis. I just hope that you remember our kindness and remember how easy it is to be kind in a world that rewards cruelty and violence. Did you learn how to tame it? I mean, really? How to tame that beast of destruction? Or how about comfort that sick dog that seems to be laying on our chest and weeping for a world they might not get to see? I'm happy where I am. I chose this life, and God, I am happy. But if I could choose for you, I would be a working artist. I mean, I want to be able to live the lives of 1,000 men without missing out on what's happening in front of me. And I want to make art for the rest of my life. Sometimes I'm worried that my dreams will die with this version of me, and I will be wasted at the bottom of a sea of mediocrity. But I know that isn't who you will be. Our reinvention is our religion. Our way of constructing new worlds gives us even more reason to live, more reason to create. You got it. Who will I become
after all of this time.
Well, honey, who do you want to be?
I want to be you. I want to be just like you.